Well, here we are again, as happy as can be. Da, 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 da. Where's my babe? Oh, shit. I'm not going to be talking much. You can see two are watching, and I'll just wait and wait and wait and wait. I want to try to avoid repeating myself. Hi, Matt. Nice to see you again. Yes, things are good. I'll wait a little while before I start talking about what's just gone on in court. But well, yeah, actually, the sun's come out in Hull. It had given rain for us, but it's lovely weather. My surroundings have changed a little bit because I only live 10 minutes from the court, so I thought I'd come home and use my Wi-Fi rather than using all my data allowance. Raining in Sheffield, you know, unfortunately, that's why they invented that stainless steel stuff. Don't rust. Good on them. Love it. I love Sheffield. Back in the day, I used to go out with a really good-looking young lady from Sheffield. All I can remember is she lived at the top of the biggest fucking hill I had to walk up in my life. Because in those days, I couldn't afford a car. Well, 10 bob a week, you couldn't afford knack all. But still, I still like Sheffield. Nice. But the good thing about Sheffield is it's in Yorkshire. And if it's in Yorkshire, it's good. Everything's good. The sun shines all the time. God, I sounded a bit like Neil Diamond there. Oh, racing up now, look, we're on 3. 3 people, wow. I've never had that many in my room at one time. Black Queen, you've not missed anything, sweetheart, because I haven't started talking because I thought I'd wait until those that are interested come on the line and I don't have to keep repeating myself. But can't decide whether my dicky bow's straight or not. Yeah, it looks good. Touch of class. Well, there you go. You know, I can talk about shite all day long. I'm really good at talking about nothing. Matt, that is. Yeah, Black Queen, I'm good. I'm cracking. I've come back home, but my daughter and the rest of Levi's siblings are in town writing, not writing, are in town shopping for Levi. Black Queen, can you actually read his writing? Dot, everything's going fine, love. I don't know if I'm supposed to, in this thing or whatever you want to call this thing, you're supposed to do what? A big shout out to Dot. Is that what it is? But you know, it's early days, isn't it? It's early days for me. Very early days. Well, it was early morning, I know that. Yeah, he's not the best writer, is he? I know. I sent him an email, and I actually put in the email, can you write in capital letters so that I can actually read what you put? Because I looked, he sent one to his mum and she sent me to have a look. Well, I couldn't read a bloody word of it. But I could read it. When I got mine, I could read it. So I didn't have to guess what he was saying. I could read it. But he's got plenty of time to better himself at writing, hasn't he? I know in this day and age, not many people write. You know, it's all this click, 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 beep, 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 you know, all that kind of gear. But he'll get there. He'll get there. Unfortunately, you know, I when I was young, when I was Levi's age, my writing was really, really good. However, now I'm a lot older. My writing's like wiry. It's not the best. Black Queen, where do you live then? If you want to tell me, you don't have to, but a city or an area or something like that. Give me a bit of a clue. It is unnatural to handwrite these days. You know, people don't send letters anymore, do they? You know, it's a bit like Christmas cards. I stopped sending Christmas cards. I think the last ones I sent were like 4 years ago. He's getting looked after in there. Seaside. Oh, love the seaside. No, no, Doc, they don't. They don't have pen pals nowadays. It's Scarborough. I love Scarborough. My sister comes from Scarborough. I was there on, when was it? Sunday evening. Parker pens. We love Parker pens. They were the biz. And what your Parker pen, was it one that you actually filled up with ink? Teesside, Doc. That's where my son lives, up that way somewhere. I'm just trying to think of where he lives. Yeah, Scarborough. Well, I like Scarborough. However, Scarborough is a bit hilly for me. You know, when you get to the ripe old age I am, climbing hills is the worst thing can happen. Stockton on Tees. I've been there. I think I used to have a pub up near Stockton. I can't remember the area. Is Washington near Stockton or not? Because I used to have a pub in Washington. I used to have a pub in the middle of Middlesbrough as well. Yeah. We're up to 9 anyway. I'll let it get to 10 or 11, and then I'll just give you you know, Matt, I'm not sure about that one. You know, as Skeggy's not always been on my list, and Mablethorpe definitely not. But the good thing about Skeggy and Mablethorpe is there's no bloody hills. Between Scarborough and Brid, well, I like Brid the best, but I would, because that's where I was born. So, but Scarborough's nice. Yeah, Middlesbrough 5. Yeah, it is 5 minutes away. Well, I'm trying to remember what that pub was in the middle of Middlesbrough that I used to have. It was more of a night place, I think, right in the centre. Skeggy's never been great for a weekend. No, I'm not going to say bad things about places. They've all got their good points. Some have got the best. Oh, Sammy, that's really nice. Thank you. Hopefully, his handwriting might get a bit better, and you might be able to understand it when he gets when he answers. So anyway, it's we're up to 11. So I was in court this morning at 11:30. He was in front of the beak, and I couldn't hear a damn word what the prosecution was on about. No idea what they were blathering away, but his barrister I could hear and understand. Now, his case has been adjourned for 2 weeks, pending further inquiries from the boys in blue, because they need to check his phone for, you know, iffy things. There's no on his phone, I know there isn't, but they've got to do their business. So it was basically, it was a 5-minute hearing where we sat there, stood up when the beat came in, sat down. They asked Levi his name, date of birth, and boom. It was the prosecution, young lady who was the prosecuting counsel. And I think she was whispering, not quite sure because I couldn't understand her. But it looks like the police haven't finished their inquiries. And my gut feeling is the reason they haven't finished their inquiries is because they can't find Nakal. Because, you know, if he was running around with hundreds of thousands of pounds and God knows what, he wouldn't have borrowed a tenner off his mum and a tenner off his sister. And apparently, yes, he's going not guilty on the money laundering bit, but that wasn't mentioned this morning, because the reason it wasn't mentioned, I think, is because the police have not really decided what they're going for. They need more time. And as I say, the more time they need is because they can't really find anything. I know he had the drugs and I know he had the money, but going elsewhere looking at shit and things, they're not going to find anything or nothing of importance. You know, they might find someone that says, you know, Levi, do you think you give me that tenner back that you borrowed yesterday? He certainly wasn't rolling in cash. Everything went okay, Sharon. It's been adjourned for 2 weeks, so the beginning of June. And we'll see what goes from there. But like I say, I just think the police will be clutching at straws, really, because they're not going to find anything. There's nothing. And I mean, as silly as it sounds, I'm sat here at my house with Levi's PC. Now, why, you know, you see all these things on the TV about what the police do when they arrest people and whatever, and they're forever taking stuff into the van. You know, oh, he's got 6 PCs and a laptop and a guy, blah blah blah. Well, they didn't take his PC. I've been on it, and believe me, I've been through it, and there's nothing at all. And there's stuff going back there to 2011. You know, so if it'd been this big drug dealer, you'd have thought there'd be something somewhere. Rach, you haven't missed nothing, honey. I've missed you, but you've missed nothing. I thought you'd be the first on. You seem to be round about the first every time. But let me just scroll back because I've just seen something. My name is Purple Aki. I just give Craig £10 for Takes Canteen. Well, thank you. That's very good of you. You're a star. He'll appreciate it. Oops. Your Gina have influx now, Grandad. Craig's finished. Oh, right, okay. Well, on Craig's, what was that then? Was that his daily divvy or whatever you call it? I can't remember what they call it, but why can't I get this now? I have to be on the daily at 12, but I'm on here now. All right. Says he only done half an hour then. What's wrong with him? Hopefully you can mod Rachel. Is that a sexual term? You can mod Rachel. I don't even know what that means. Sorry. I do apologize because that doesn't make any sense to me, and it should. I know it should, but I don't know what moderators are, and God knows what. I know people have one, but I don't know what they do. Well, there you go. That's all there is to it. No content from the divvies to cover. Right. Oh, right. She can kick the weirdos out the chat. Well, that's good because I think later on, I think I'm going to have to start doing a bit of kicking. I've just left Kelsey. Just left her. This well, she's gone with me with the daughter into town. I don't know, living it up in the middle of Hull. If you can live it up in the middle of Hull, that's a statement in a statement, isn't it? Yeah. So the court was 5 minutes long. 2 minutes of that was Levi saying yes, 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 and that left 3 minutes for a young lady who whispered what the police were doing and what they weren't doing, and then a couple of minutes of Levi's brief telling him his bit. He didn't have a gun riding to battle. There were no guns found at his address at all. He fires blanks, has done all his life, young man. And you're saying charge for drug and money. Well, you know, actually, the charges haven't been done yet. That's what this morning's hearing was about, what the charges were going to be. So really, he's on remand on, well, I don't know what the word is, but he's on remand for it. But I can tell you now, there was no guns. And what they found, I know they said in the first hearing that weapons, they put it down as weapons. And the weapons were a baseball bat, which my daughter had had like for 20 years because she's a little, you know, she has it at the bottom of the stairs in case somebody gets in and she whacks them with a baseball bat. I mean, she hasn't got it now because the police took it away as a weapon. And there was another one, I think they called it a machete. Well, basically, it was like a big fish knife. Yeah, Barry. He will be charged with possession and intent to supply. Well, that's really good of you. You seem to know a lot. I'll wait until it comes up, see what it is. Black Queen, you don't need to get her a new baseball bat because I'm on permanent call. I go around if there's a problem. But we've not had any problems. So, you know, so drugs, yeah. Money, yeah. Weapons, well, you know, that's a debatable point. And luxury goods, well, the luxury goods were basically, and I don't know how to say the word, but it was one of these man bag things, Louis Vuitton or whatever they call it. I don't know what the name is. A designer handbag, which he bought like 8 or 9 years ago in Marbella when he was DJing out there. So, you know, I'm not stressed at all. Not stressed at all. There's nothing to be stressed about. He looked, and Frosty, he looked good. He seemed to be well. However, he's got a bloody silly haircut. Don't do drugs, kids. Do you think kids are looking at my fucking channel? What kind of a plonker is that? You've seen that bag? Yeah, I have. Loads of times. I could show you. I've got a photograph on my in my family album of the day he bought it because he was so pleased. And he showed me it, and I said, well, I basically called him a tart. I mean, that's not very nice, is it? That's not PC, calling your grandson a tart. But, you know, say what it is. No, he hasn't got a mohawk. Definitely not. He's had a haircut. I can tell you now, Rach. He's had a haircut. It looked bloody silly. I think, Matt, I think he does mention it in one of his songs. Not that I listen to many of his songs, because, you know, his taste in music is not my taste in music, really. And you know, when you've grown up with, you know, stuff like the Stones, the Beatles, you know, people like that, Buddy Holly, you know, all those, hearing all this music and songs that you've no idea what they're on about. He can be he can prove when he bought the bag, because we've got a photograph of him coming out of the shop. I've just told you, I've got a photograph of him coming out of the shop and sending me the picture saying, look what I bought, Grandad. So, what kind of proof do you need? No, Grandad, I can see you being a grime or a drill man. I don't even know what that fucking means, Matt. Grime and drill. I don't know what that means. Now, funny enough, I like some of Bleefy's tunes. But, you know, he's young. So, well, he's young compared to me. So his taste in music's going to be the thing about music nowadays is when you get to, you know, I mean, if you're 18, 19, 20 or something, and you're listening to all this head banging shite and bing bang bong or whatever it bloody is, when you get to 50, 60 or 70, you're not going to be sat in the corner of your room singing one of the songs from your youth, because the crap, it's not going to happen. Whereas I can sit and, you know, I can sing, well, sing is the wrong word because I'm not a singer, but in my mind, you know, I'm good. And I can sit and sing songs that I heard in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I don't listen to much of the new stuff because I don't know what it's all about. But back in the day, you know, I used to go to oh, hold on a second, because I think I've got bloody nits. Oh, I used to go to, I've forgotten what it's called now. It'll come to me in a minute anyway. Yeah, he should have got charged for wearing that man bag, definitely, because I wouldn't be seen dead with a man bag. But saying that, back, you know, and I keep saying back in the day, but back in the day, I used to wear a money belt. You know, so it's not a new thing, is it? It's just that my money belt wasn't on show. No, he didn't plead guilty to not finishing the cocaine documentary, but I'm going to see him. What day is it today? 16th. I'm seeing him in 10 days' time. And I'm going to ask him because I've, you know, as I say, I've got access to his PC, so I can see, and I can see what he's done on his documentary, and it's really, really good. What he hasn't done is blathered. You know, he hasn't put the icing on the thing. He's got the pictures and shit like that, and he's got the basic of a story and all that, but he hasn't put it together. So he hasn't got any co-defendants. There's no other defendants. And AVFC, I know you told me I could call you something else, but believe me, I'm at that age where I forget things, and I forgot what I said I could call you, but I think it might have been Tom. Anyway, there's no co-defendants. That's it. The attire, what's wrong with me bloody attire? You know, I spent a lot of time on this. Since I've just flung it together, you know, these things came from France. I was in France at the weekend and I saw these and I thought, whoa, that's me. And then these t-shirty things, they also came from France. So I'm a bit of a gad about town type thing. Yeah, the police will want the cocaine documentary, but they're not getting it. I'm not getting it. And I'm looking at it. So, but everything's good. You know, we'd like to think that things were better, but his mouthpiece, yeah, they do, Dimitri, they do. Yeah, his brief basically gave us the bad side and the good side. Now, the bad side is it could start at 12 and work its way down. 12 years, that is. And then, you know, because he gets a third off. And then it could come down to him doing 3. It all depends on what the police charge him with. And I can't remember the exact term, but one was a major player and one was a minor player. Now, in my head, he's a minor player, but it depends what this criminal prosecution service people decide on what they think the offence is. He isn't going to get bail. That's one thing we do know. He's not going to get bail because it's no matter whether it's a minor, a medium, or a major offence, it's still fairly big. You know, it's the size of the drugs is the problem. Grandad, because Chegg is remanded, can I take over his patch? I didn't know he had a patch. What, his eye patch, do you mean? Once an away fan and once for a highly confident that has daily rumour. Career, is YouTube a career then? I didn't know it was. I thought it was just a bit of pissing about and being stupid or whatever. You know, I can't remember. I'm not good on big words. I do know a couple of big words, you know, like agriculture. That's a big word. You know, constitutional. There's another big word. But I don't know other big words. I'm, as you probably can see, I can be a straight talking dickhead at times. But there you go. Oh, that's good of me phone to tell me that these things that are in my ear are working. Oh shit! I think I've just turned it off. Sharon, hi. I don't know if I've said hi to everyone, but Black Queen, hi. Yeah, it is the intent to supply. That's the thing. But it depends how you say intent to supply, isn't it? Because he had it in his possession. Now, you know, if he gave it back to the person who asked him to hold it for him, well, that's supplying, isn't it? So, you know, it's a silly thing. It's just a court thing. So it's what they believe is done. Now, you know, his past life tells you. Do you know, by the time I got in there for that coffee, it was bloody cold. And I'll have you know that the family had all had breakfast. What a bloody cheek. Young Soprano, right, I can see you're late. The charges have not been released because they haven't decided yet. His case has been remanded for 2 more weeks because the police haven't finished their pissing about. So yeah, apparently I've not had a breakfast at Wetherspoons, but I presume it's like everywhere else. They're all much of a much, aren't they? I tell you, I like to go for breakfast occasionally, but only occasionally because I'm not really a breakfast person. But I occasionally go to Morrison's because their breakfasts are quite nice, and sometimes, you know, if you can drag a friend in and get 2 for 1. Not that I have any friends to drag in, but you know, I could just drag somebody in off the street and say, "Do you want a breakfast?" And they'll think, "Oh, that's really nice of him. He's getting me a breakfast," and I'm not really because I get 2 for 1. But it sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, Matt, Morrison's Cafe is decent. It's okay. It's, you know, it's not the best, but it's like all these places that have got caps. You know, they're not the best, are they? You have to go with what you get. Yeah, I think it's Tom. I don't know what that is. I think you might be answering somebody else in the chat. So, but as I said before, there's nothing to write home about today. It's just another 2 weeks, and he's back in court in another 2 weeks. And my guess is it'll be adjourned again because they'll have to keep digging and digging and digging, hopefully, to see if they can find something. And I don't think they're going to find anything. Yeah, they found the drugs, they found the money, they found the machete and his baseball bat. But that's all they've found. You won't find knack all else because there isn't anything. And as I say, I can access everything of Levi's. I've been into all his accounts. I can access his bank account. I can, you know, his bank account is basically fucking zero. So yeah, Barry. Well, when you're up to your neck in it, you know, some people are up to neck in shit and talk it, but you know, that's what it is. You make it up as you go along. You want to think that, think it. Don't really care. 36. Wow. I'm impressed. 36 people. How long have I been on? Because I'm going to be running out of power soon. No, he isn't in trouble with the people he was keeping it for, because the person he was keeping it for couldn't fight his way out of a fucking paper bag. Quite honestly, he's a dick. And the person who he was holding it for was basically dealing for somebody else. So it's the person he was holding it for is the one who's in the shit. They're not coming to Levi for it. No, he's not a big baseball fan. He didn't have the bat. I think I explained earlier, the baseball bat was his mother's, and she's had it 20 years or so. And she kept it at the bottom of her stairs because she lives in an upstairs flat. She kept it at the bottom of her stairs in case anybody got through the door, and she'd whack them with the bat. So, hey, Sharon, if Barry Grant wants to come out with shit, he can come out with shit, because all I can do, I can just either rise to the occasion, which I'm not gonna, or I can just say bollocks, I'm not gonna watch you. So he can fuck about and write all day long, and I really, really don't care, because Grandad, I wouldn't want you as my co-accused. I tell you what, if I was his co-accused, I'd have sang like a canary. I'd have told him everything, basically. Now, you know, whether it's good or whether it's bad, he hasn't. You know, nobody has to apologize to me. I can tell you now, nobody has to apologize. I can make my own mind up about people. The good thing is I can read, and you know, I can make my own mind up. Once they don't get the return on their shitty little comments, they'll go away, like all dickheads. If they don't get what they want, they piss off and go and have a go at somebody else, and that's what they want to do. Let them go. But if he's sat in this thing and I'm getting I'm getting the views, well, it's good because it goes in YouTube. Take it all into account, apparently. So yeah, if they want to sit on there, let them. Don't care. Don't give a rat's ass. What's this, a dating game, Sharon? Are we on a dating game here? Don't say too much, Grandad. About what? What am I saying? Saying nothing. There's nothing to say. Nothing at all. The more popular you become, the more idiots you will get, mate. If you get Rachel to mod, they will be gone. Yeah, well, I'll look into it. As I say, I have no idea how these things work. I did notice that Rachel was a moderator in Levi's channels or channel or whatever it is he's got. Barry Gran. What? Barry? What the fuck are you on about? Everyone was thinking the same. Come on about what? What were they thinking? You know, it's unfortunately for you, I can't remember your last post on here. So there's no chance of me thinking, well, oh, he's on about this, because I have no idea what you're talking about. And quite honestly, I don't give a rat's ass. I really don't. If you're a nice guy, you're a nice guy. If you're not a nice guy, well, you're not a nice guy. Scott used to mod for a few people. Okay. You know, I could eat a pork pie right now. That's quite good. Eat a pork pie. I think I've got some in my fridge. When I get up here, I'm Scott's second best mod. Hiya, Frosty. Right. Oh, right. So what's pork pie mean? Come on, Sharon, tell me, because as I say, you know, I might be street cred in the 60s, but I'm fucking certainly not now. Oh, right, okay. Pork pie means police. Is that what? Pork pie? Where the fuck did they put that to police? What's that all about? Well, I just thought a pork pie was a pork pie. And I've got a couple in my fridge, so it's a private joke, but you get one on a day out. Do you? Right. Yeah, oh, it could just mean they're having pork pie with a bit of pickle and tomatoes and all that kind of gear. Yeah, well, do you know, I think those knits what I had have dropped down my t-shirt because I'm itching now all over the bloody place. Fucking knits. Can't do with them. Get them on road trips, Grandad. Road trips. I had a road trip at the weekend. I didn't get whatever it is you're talking about. Well, I might have done, but I wouldn't know, would I? Because I've fucking no idea what you're talking about. Well, I think I've just turned me things off. Anyway, it's coming up for 45 minutes. I might give it another 5 or 6 minutes, and then I'll go and get something to eat, or especially a coffee. Do you fancy Chaos Karting in Manchester on Sunday? I presume that's just somebody else, but is Chaos Karting just going around the track and being a dickhead, or is it just racing? Unfortunately, on Sunday I'm going to Scarborough because my younger sister does Sunday dinners like my mum, so I do go to there. Yeah, the knits have definitely come from the court, but quite honestly, to tell you the truth, I think I left a few in for them. Levi was going to come, what, karting? Was he? Didn't know he could bloody do it. Well, you learn something every day, don't you? Karting. Well, there you go. Oh, well. Yeah, he will. Yeah, Cyrus. I don't know whether he's doing his own laps, but I think he might do one or two. Black Queen, I shall certainly say hello to him. I've written down, I've got a pad on my desk here, and I've written down whenever anybody's said say hello or give him a hug or whatever, I've written it down so that I don't forget when I get there. You know, because as I say, because of my age, I forget things really, really easy. And I think I could do with a PA, you know, remembers everything. I don't think he's got any cell windows. It'd be too high for him. He's only a small lad. Anyways, I'm saying anyway, I haven't a fucking clue what I was going to say. I wrote him a note yesterday. Rachel sent it over for me. Nice. All right. Right, that's just a check joke about Windows. Okay. Well, you know, I've got a. It's the jokes about Windows for me is, you know, the Microsoft Windows, because the best thing about them is at times you could chuck them out your fucking window because they're a bloody nightmare. But there you go. That's a different kettle of fish. Is Microsoft. Can't knock them really. I wish I'd have bought some fucking shares when I had the opportunity, but you don't. You know, you miss out on these things, don't you? Bit like when I was young, and all these people used to come up and say, "Oh, you should join a pension. You should join a pension. You should join a pension," and I never did. And quite honestly, nowadays, I'm fucking glad I didn't, because the government just take it all in fucking tax. Love them. So, what my view on pensions? You don't want them because you get a basic state pension, and then you can get a thing called pension credits, which gives you £3 a year. You know, I can't get pension credits because I'm £4 over the bloody limit. So they take 20% of what I have. Yeah, and that's the problem, making you join pensions, because later in life, the government won't have to spend a bucket full of money on pension credits because everybody will have a pension and it'll take them over the limit. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know how the email system works in the prison. I've no idea how it works, but it's only one piece of paper, isn't it? One piece of paper. But he's got plenty of time, hasn't he, to answer. That's a good thing, and he's got plenty of time to catch up on his writing ability, because his writing ability is not the best in the world. I'm going to look into opting out. I don't think you have the option nowadays to opt out, because I don't really know. I'm not into it. I don't need to be into this pension shit anymore. Those days are gone. So Who's going to support Chegg for his sentencing? Okay, Barry, what the fuck does that mean? His family's going to support him. Who do you think? What a stupid question. What do you think I'm going to do? Go downtown and get a busload of people and ask them to go and sit in the fucking court? No, his family will be there. And they'll be there all the time because that's what we are. We're a family. He has got doctor's handwriting. It's shit. He should get a PA in there, shouldn't he? One of the screws or something to write his letters for him. Basically, the government put in what I do, so it's double. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great now, but you'll find when you come to retire that what you've got coming in will be going back out to the government. So their 20% or 22% or whatever, 10% or whatever it is they put into your account, they're going to pull it fucking back because they tax it. So there you go. He did have a life away from YouTube, Barry. Who did? Craig will go. Right. Lovely. I look forward to it. God, you do come out with some shit. You know, I've just thought, Barry, I've just thought now, you've just brought a thought to my mind. Here. There you go. First one today. Divvy stick. Barry, I think you need to get a life, mate. Instead of sitting on here talking shit. Get a life. Actually, you don't have to get a life, do you? Go and look in the mirror and talk to your fucking self about shit. There you go. When's the documentary? Danny, it's not going to be early. I can tell you now. You know, we're looking at a long stretch, I think, before this documentary gets airing. But there's a lot of it done. And unfortunately, I don't think you're allowed typewriters and shit in jail. So if he's going to write the story, well, he's going to have to do it in capital letters. It would be nice to see his YouTube friends. You know, what a silly statement. Nice for who? It won't be nice for him because he won't fucking see him. Yeah, right. Be nice for his friends. Oh, God, I don't know. Why am I reacting to this Barry Grant guy? Why am I reacting? Basically, I might be reacting because he talks shit. Yeah, well, there you go, crafty cow. You know, yeah, it's my family. You know, no matter what he did, I will be there for him, no matter what he did. He's my family. And that's all there is to it, isn't it? You know, if you're not there for your family, who are you there for? Yeah, well, if Barry wants to keep chatting away in his little tiny thing, what he does, coming up with shit, he can carry on. He didn't really annoy me, you know. He's not really annoying me. It's just that, you know, if I see shit, I'm going to say it. Oh, Frosty, you know, it's awful when you lose your family. You know, I'm an orphan, by the way. As well, I'm saying I'm an orphan. I don't know because I don't know who my father was. So he was just some Viking who came over and raped and pillaged, apparently. But it'll all come out in the wash. You know, if he has to do 10 years, he has to do 10 years. If he has to do 3.5, he has to do 3.5. We'll still be here. But I'm not going any fucking where. Anywhere at all. I'll be here. Till the last breath. I'll be here for my grandson. Now, you know, occasionally I might, you know, when I talk to him, I don't say, how are you doing, grandson? You know, he's my son. So, and I've got a couple of grandsons. I always call them son. So, you know. Trevor Joe Dash. Was that in that, what do you call it? I don't know what you call it now. That's Summit Street or something on the telly. Don't know. If he gets 10, he only do half. I'm not. If the charge is 10, well, he gets a third off for one. So it wouldn't be 10. He'd be getting on with. So, you know, it's less. But, you know, if he gets 10, he gets 10. If he gets 3.5, he gets 3.5. I really don't care how long he gets. Brookside, that's the word I was looking for. Brookside. I didn't used to watch it, but I've heard about it. I'm not into one of those kind of programs. Oh, right, okay. Oh, right. Right, I see it now. You know, it's amazing how you get your names. Mine was quite easy to get, wasn't it? When I think about it, because I'm just his granddad. You know, I'm the tastiest thing on YouTube. Granddad. Not me. I'm not the tastiest. I'm the granddad of the tastiest thing on YouTube. Tastiest thing in Hull Prison as well. It's all taken off. Everything's taken off. It's all, you know, whether he does 2 years on remand, it's all taken off. Anyway, I'm thank you for whatever, you know, all the things you've said. Those have been nice. Thank you all. And, you know, those who haven't been nice, well, fuck off. Don't care. But, so I'm going to say TTFN, and I'm going to go. And if you watch out, I'll be doing another live at some point. I can't remember what day I've decided yet. Well, how can I remember what day I've decided? Because I haven't fucking decided it yet. So that's nice of you, Matt. Thank you. So I'll get off for now. I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee. I'm going to have pork pie and some pickle and cheese, I think. And I'll see you all soon. TTFN.